ask you a question. Have you ever experienced a moment in life where joy and sorrow decide to show up at your doorstep at the same time? No, not one after the other, but together. Like uninvited guests at a family wedding, one with colorful balloons and one with a black umbrella. Well, I have, and I call it living in liminality. The in-between, a sort of limbo, a twilight zone. That space where you're no longer who you were and not yet who you're becoming. And here, joy feels guilty, sorrow is heavy, and every smile comes with a tear attached. Let me tell you a story, a true story. A young, reckless driver crashed into a bike on the dusty streets of Jaipur one morning. The impact was not fatal, but brutal. The pillion rider on his way to work, a man who had never driven his vehicle in 60 years of his life, a man who was looking forward to his happy superannuation, a peaceful retirement, and then crashed! Not just his world, but all of those who were around him. And he underwent a decompressive craniectomy. Sounds fancy, right? It simply means a part of the skull was removed to release the cranial pressure and the clot inside the brain. A 5-hour-long surgery, while his family clung to the phones. Every vibration a hope, every silence a fear. This man, battling for his life in that moment, is my dad, my cheerleader, my forever young at heart dad. That was 21 months, 25 days ago. And yes, I have counted. Because when life flips your world upside down, you start counting everything. Since then, Dad has been in a vegetative state. He breathes, he blinks, he sleeps, but he just isn't there. Our world stopped, but the calendar didn't. There were so many voices around me. Hey, Robin, you just had a baby. What joy. Robin, we have no choice but to declare that he is permanently disabled. Hey, Robin, you got a promotion. Wow, devil celebration, man. Robin, putting him into a palliative care center would be a sensible thing. I would smile, I would nod, but inside, I was numb. How do you celebrate when you're grieving? How do you rejoice small wins when everything comes at the cost of something else? Well, I named my son River, hoping that the sound of his coos and cries would awaken my father, that somehow joy could shake sorrow awake. But it didn't, and life flowed on. There has been 0% neurological improvement in the last 21 months. But you know what has changed? Me. I have stopped waiting for the normal to return. I have started redefining what normal even means. And last month, we took the most difficult decision yet. We moved him to a palliative care center. My mom, whose health was crumbling, needed care too. I live here, mom lives there, and dad, he lives between life and beyond. You know, they say that time heals everything. But let me burst that bubble. Time doesn't heal everything. It just gives you the room to grow around that pain, like a tree that bends but doesn't break, like a laugh that escapes even when your heart is heavy, like me standing here, smiling while carrying both joy and sorrow in the same pocket. People often ask me, Robin, how do you do it? And I tell them that some days I meditate, some days I medicate, and most days I just manage. Because healing isn't about pretending that the pain is gone. It's about learning to dance with it, and sometimes to a very bad music. And today, when I see Dad, I don't just see what he's lost, but I see what he still has, his essence, his presence, and an undying love. And when I hold River, I don't just see a new beginning, but I see a tiny human who reminds me that life flows forward no matter what. And that's what Uncharted Horizon is all about. It's not about finding answers. It's about learning to live inside those questions. It's about holding on when everything inside you wants to let go. So, if you too are standing at the edge of uncertainty, I want you to remember that the sun will rise. And it's okay if all you could do today was just survive, because tomorrow you try again. And someday, not today, maybe not next week, but someday you will look back and realize that your uncharted path was the very map that somebody needed to find hope. Thank you.